Have you ever noticed that some days, even after a full night's sleep and a decent breakfast, you still feel like your energy is running on empty? Like your body just isn't bouncing back the way it used to, even when you think you're doing everything right? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we get older, our bodies become a little more sensitive. What once was harmless, a favorite snack, a quick frozen meal, or even a slice of toast, can quietly start working against us. Not in loud, obvious ways like sudden illness or dramatic weight gain, but in more subtle, frustrating ways: foggy thinking, stiff joints, slower digestion, or even those mid-afternoon crashes that feel like a wall just slammed down on your day. But here's the good news: a few simple food swaps can make a big difference. Today, we're going to talk about 4 everyday foods that might be secretly harming your health after 60, and more importantly, what to eat instead to feel better, stronger, and more alive than ever. Let's start with one that surprises a lot of people: white bread and refined grains. I know, it's comforting, it's soft, it's familiar. Who doesn't love a good sandwich on white bread or a warm dinner roll? But the truth is, refined grains have had most of their nutrients stripped away. That means no fiber, very little protein, and a fast spike in your blood sugar that leads to an even faster crash. And here's the thing: after 60, our metabolism slows down, and our ability to regulate blood sugar naturally becomes less efficient. So those spikes and crashes? They hit harder. Over time, they can contribute to weight gain around the middle, fatigue, mood swings, and even increase your risk for type 2 diabetes. But don't worry, this doesn't mean giving up bread forever. It just means being a little more thoughtful. Instead of white bread, try switching to whole grain or sprouted grain bread. They're packed with fiber, which helps slow down how sugar is absorbed in the body, keeping your energy steady. They also support healthy digestion, something that becomes more important as we age. A slice of whole grain toast with natural peanut butter or avocado in the morning? That's not just delicious, it's fuel your body can actually use. Now let's talk about something else that hides in a lot of places: processed meats. I'm talking about things like bacon, deli ham, sausages, hot dogs, the stuff that's often quick, tasty, and easy to add to a sandwich or breakfast plate. These meats might seem harmless, especially when you're eating them in small portions. But they often contain high levels of sodium, preservatives, and something called nitrates, chemicals that have been linked to increased inflammation in the body. Why is that a big deal? Because inflammation is at the root of many chronic issues that affect people over 60, from joint pain and arthritis to heart problems and memory loss. And the worst part is, the damage happens silently over time. You might not feel anything after eating a slice of ham today. But a year or two down the line, that daily sandwich habit could be quietly contributing to stiffness, sluggishness, or trouble with blood pressure. So, what's the better choice? Try lean, unprocessed proteins instead. Roasted turkey or chicken breast, grilled fish, or even plant-based options like lentils or chickpeas can offer the protein you need without the hidden chemicals. One simple change, like replacing deli meat with sliced grilled chicken or a mashed chickpea salad, can lighten the load on your heart, your joints, and your immune system. Plus, if you're someone who enjoys cooking at home, making your own simple proteins can actually be easier and tastier than you think. Throw a few pieces of salmon or chicken in the oven with olive oil, lemon, and herbs, and you've got meals ready for days. It's food that loves you back. Now, before we move forward, I want to pause for a second and say this: if you've been eating these foods for years, please don't feel bad. This isn't about guilt or shame. It's about awareness. Our bodies change as we age, and the way we nourish them should change too. What worked in our 40s or 50s may not be the best fit in our 60s and beyond, and that's perfectly okay. The great thing is, it's never too late to make small, smart adjustments that can really add up. So, now that we've talked about refined grains and processed meats, let's ease into the next surprising culprit, one that might be hiding in your morning routine right now. That next surprising culprit? It's flavored yogurts and low-fat dairy products. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but yogurt is healthy. And you're right, the idea of yogurt being good for digestion, packed with calcium and protein, is true in its pure form. But many of the popular flavored yogurts you'll find at the grocery store, especially the ones marked low-fat, are hiding a sugary secret. Take a look at the label next time you're in the store. Some of these little containers can have as much sugar as a candy bar. And the problem with that much sugar, especially in the morning or as a snack, is that it sets off a roller coaster in your body. It spikes your blood sugar, gives you a temporary high, then drops you back down, leaving you tired, hungry, and sometimes even a little cranky. Over time, that repeated cycle can lead to insulin resistance, unwanted weight gain, and more pressure on your heart. And those low-fat labels? They're tricky. When the fat is taken out, food companies often add extra sugar or thickeners to keep the texture and flavor. So you're actually getting less of the healthy fats your body needs, and more of the stuff it doesn't. So what can you do instead? Choose plain, full-fat yogurt. Greek yogurt is a great option. And add your own sweetness with a few fresh berries, a drizzle of honey, or a sprinkle of cinnamon. Not only does it taste better, but it gives your body the kind of energy that's steady and satisfying. Plus, healthy fats help keep your brain sharp and your skin glowing. And who doesn't want that at any age? You might be surprised by how quickly your taste buds adapt. After a week or two of skipping the sugary flavored yogurts, you'll likely find the plain ones with natural toppings more enjoyable, and your digestion will thank you too. Alright, let's move on to another sneaky offender, one that's become almost a staple in modern eating: vegetable oils. Yes, those bottles labeled canola, soybean, or corn oil line the shelves in most kitchens and restaurants. They've been marketed for decades as heart healthy, but more recent research tells a different story, especially for folks over 60. These oils are highly processed and often contain high levels of omega-6 fatty acids. While omega-6s aren't inherently bad, the problem is when we get too much of them and not enough omega-3s, which are the ones that fight inflammation and protect the brain and heart. An imbalanced ratio can quietly stir up trouble, increasing inflammation in the body and putting stress on joints, blood vessels, and even cognitive function. And here's the tricky part: these oils are hiding in a lot of packaged and prepared foods, even ones that seem innocent, like crackers, salad dressings, and even healthy frozen meals. So it's easy to consume more than you realize, even if you're not cooking with them directly. The good news? There are better fats out there, and they're just as easy to use. Switch to extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or even coconut oil for cooking. They're less processed, full of antioxidants, and offer healthy fats your body can actually use to build cells and stay strong. Olive oil, in particular, has been linked to better heart health and reduced risk of memory decline, two things that matter a lot more as we age. Try drizzling olive oil over steamed vegetables or using it in your salad dressings. Not only does it taste rich and satisfying, but it also helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, all of which support bone strength, immune health, and overall vitality. These small swaps can have a ripple effect, giving your meals more flavor and your body more support. And here's something else to keep in mind: inflammation doesn't always announce itself with aches and pains right away. Sometimes, it shows up as a low-grade fatigue, that feeling of being off or foggy-headed, or even sleep issues. So when you begin replacing some of these common oils with healthier alternatives, you might notice changes you didn't expect: more energy during the day, clearer thinking, even fewer nighttime wake-ups. Making this change doesn't mean you have to throw everything out and start from scratch. Just begin with what you have. Next time you're shopping, pick up a small bottle of extra virgin olive oil and keep it on your counter. Reach for it more often when you're sautéing, roasting, or even making a sandwich. Every time you use it instead of canola or vegetable oil, you're casting a vote for your long-term health, and that's powerful. And if you're someone who likes to bake, don't worry, there are alternatives there, too. Unsweetened applesauce, mashed bananas, or even yogurt can replace some oils in recipes and give you a moist, tasty result without the inflammatory downside. It's truly amazing how these small, mindful changes can add up to big wins over time. The best part? You're not just avoiding harm, you're choosing foods that actively support your energy, memory, and strength. Now that we've taken a closer look at the yogurt trap and those sneaky cooking oils, it's time to shift our attention to something else that may seem harmless, even helpful, but often works against your health after 60 in ways most people don't realize. I'm talking about diet soda and artificial sweeteners. Now, I know a lot of folks switch to diet sodas or sugar-free products thinking they're making a healthier choice. It seems logical, right? Cut the sugar, cut the calories, and you're better off. But the reality is a little more complicated, especially as we age. The problem isn't just what these artificial sweeteners replace, it's how they affect your body. Sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin may be calorie-free, but they can still disrupt your metabolism. Studies have shown that they may actually confuse your body's natural hunger and fullness cues. In other words, your brain thinks sugar is coming, prepares for it, and when it doesn't arrive, it starts craving more. That means you could end up feeling hungrier and eating more than if you just had a small amount of real sugar. But it doesn't stop there. There's also emerging evidence that these artificial sweeteners can negatively affect your gut health, something that's already more delicate after 60. An imbalanced gut can lead to bloating, slower digestion, and even immune issues. Some people even experience headaches, mood changes, or sleep troubles without realizing what's causing them, and it turns out that a daily can of diet soda might be playing a part. So what can you do instead, especially if you've gotten used to something sweet with your lunch or in the afternoon? Try sparkling water with a splash of fresh lemon or lime. If you still want a little sweetness, look into natural options like stevia or monk fruit. They tend to be easier on the body and don't come with the same risks. Even better, experiment with fruit-infused water. It's refreshing, flavorful, and helps keep you hydrated, which is essential for brain function and joint health. And if soda has been a long-time habit, it's okay to take it slow. Start by swapping one can a day, then another, and before you know it, your taste buds will adjust. Many people report that once they cut back on artificial sweeteners, natural flavors start to shine again. Strawberries taste sweeter, apples more crisp, even coffee feels smoother without all the added stuff. It's like pressing the reset button on your palate, and it can be incredibly satisfying. So here we are. For foods that seem small, even harmless, but can quietly chip away at your health when you're over 60. White bread and refined grains that drain your energy. Processed meats that stir up inflammation. Sugary flavored yogurts and those sneaky vegetable oils that tax your heart and joints. And artificial sweeteners that mess with your metabolism and mood. But here's the thing, this isn't about cutting out everything you love. It's about swapping in things that love you back. Things that give you energy instead of stealing it. Foods that nourish your bones, your mind, your digestion, and your joy. And when you make those swaps even one at a time, the changes start to add up. You feel steadier on your feet. You sleep a little better. Your mood lifts. You have the energy to play with grandkids, garden a little longer, or take that walk you used to enjoy. That's the beauty of this stage in life. Every little shift can ripple out in big, beautiful ways. And you don't have to do it perfectly. This isn't a diet or a strict plan. It's just awareness, gentle changes, and a little curiosity about what helps you feel your best. Maybe tomorrow you try a whole grain bread instead of white. Maybe this week you roasted chicken instead of reaching for cold cuts. Each of these choices is a way of saying, my health still matters. I still matter. So if you found yourself feeling sluggish, stiff, or just not quite like yourself lately, consider giving your plate a second look. Not with judgment, but with compassion. Your body has carried you through so much. Now's the time to give it what it needs to keep going strong. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried swapping out any of these foods? Have you noticed a difference in how you feel? Leave a comment below and share your experience. You never know who you might inspire. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more simple tips, gentle encouragement, and practical health advice to help you live your fullest life, because you deserve nothing less. Here's to staying sharp, strong, and joyful at every age. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.